And then, what's going on?
What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Just really, I'm all about the independent push. So just trying to taking it on my own hand. I watched the Shannon Sharp interview top of the year. So, they got everybody in the frenzy basically about just influence. So I was like, just wanted to get a chance to just pick your brain if possible.
It's all good. What's popping? I'm here.
All right. For those who don't know and those who know about your accolades and what you accomplished as far as playing the early soul with legendary careers such as Kanye West and Jay-Z, just really wanted to see where you are in your endeavors. It's a campaign, presidential elections coming up in November, a lot of things going on with influence and just really just having good work. So I know you're the perfect person to talk to about that. Just where do you feel like if you can give your presidential campaign and the State of the Union when it comes to hip hop, where you say where we at right now and where you see us going in the next 7 to 10 years?
I mean, hip hop is powerful. It's the voice of the street. It gets more powerful. The way it's going to be utilized, it depends on what resources present themselves. The world's getting tricky. In a time where there's elections, it's important to have a television network so we can get the people we want elected and give those people a voice, which is why it was important for me to be creating my own television network, which is what I've been working on for the last 13 years. So America New, America New is my television network. We get the full CPM, we get all the data, and we're distributed exactly where everyone else is distributed. And that's what I've been working on, and that's my approach. And my way of talking to people is through the content and through the music. So if you listen to 365, it's really about education and dreaming. And if you look at any of the content on the network, it's mostly about either respecting the art or therapy, education, making yourself better, whether it's physically or mentally, politics, learning how to pass laws, but also referencing the past so you can learn from it so you don't make the same mistakes twice. So there's TV shows, docuseries, music, and we broadcast live every day, and there's children's programming. We in the car right now or in the van, on our way back from doing 2 shows. I'm talking to the high school kids, and all that shit will be broadcasted on America New. So, action to entertainment.
Definitely. So talk to me about what's America New? Like, what's your vision with that? And as far as where do you feel like the power of media is right now? And how do you feel like this next generation needs to influence that really just enable themselves?
It's free. You should download it.
I will.
You can check
today.
it out. It might make the conversation different. But, again, media is the most important thing because that's the stuff people look at all day. Most people look at media from their phone, people's face over and over again. So all you got to do is type in America and then type in NU.
Copy that. So how do you feel like as far as like even growing up, did you feel like this what you'd be doing right now in your childhood? Like growing up in Harlem, just being a Harlem kid? Of course, you're familiar with Langston Hughes, so just the 1920s was the best years as far as for a Black person. Now we're 100 years later in that same era. Like, do you feel like you're a product of that?
100%. Yeah. Did I ever think I'd be doing what I'm doing now? 100%. When I was young, I always knew I was going to take over the world my way, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
So what does success mean to you?
Pardon?
So what does success mean to you? The word success, what does that mean to you? And like, what's your biggest motivation?
Love, the amount of love. That's the only thing that determines my success. It's how happy my family is.
Yeah,
and the people I love.
For sure. And I know you definitely talk about faces and stuff. You're familiar face. Tell me something about as far as like with Dame Dash, as far as Dame Dash the mogul and Dame Dash the television director, the television producer. Which one do you feel like means more to you?
They're all one and the same. They're all part of, the verticals that I teach. and also the verticals that I feel. So it just, I mean, if a person like, to me, like I'm a person, if I like fashion, I'm gonna make clothes. You know, if I like music, I'm gonna make music. If I like movies, I'm gonna make movies. Anything I like, I think I can make. Anything I love, I'm gonna make.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's like
So
children.
what was your mind with the Christian, with Christian that up in smoke, that full of smoke? What was your mind that we made that? Because like to this day, I really want to try to get that blessing from you. See, could I get that like blessing on that sample, that clearance? Like what were y'all doing building those aesthetics?
I
What
just thought this
Christian?
shit was fly. Like, you know, it was fly. It was old school and current at the same time. You know, Up in Smoke was crazy. So, you know, I like music like that. That's
So
all.
who's your favorite artist?
I don't really have one favorite artist, you know, because I like so many kinds of music. But I like live instrumentation more than anything. So, you know, it's a hard call. I like a lot of different artists. It's too broad. It's not one artist I listen to every day, all day. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to listen to. It's rare that I listen to a whole album of anybody like I used to. Like I take singles and like album cuts that I like.
Do you feel like that's where the packaging is now? Like as far as with your product, getting your product out there to the masses, you got to start with just that first sample. Is that how?
Any product you got to give samples, get them addicted, then raise the prices.
Absolutely. So what's your definition of a culture vulture? I know you talk about that. So I just want to know as far as like you feel like having an authentic product, what separates that, what waters that down, and what keeps yourself like a cut above the rest.
Well, my poster boy for a culture vulture is Leon Cohen. So it's someone that's not from a culture that exploits another culture and takes money from it without participating in it, you know, and can't get no money in their own culture other than robbery.
Yeah. Do you feel like as far as even with that, like where do you feel like things went left as far as with you and Rockefeller when it came to just like knowing what you actually put into building it up as far as what you seen in your independent artists and them just taking the money over the success? Like you just had to actually make a choice. Did you feel like you was like betrayed by that? And then how'd you grow from that as a man?
I talk about Rockefeller right now.
Yeah, and that's respect.
Yeah. You know, it's like
Mhm.
everybody asks me, and then it'd be like, Dame talks about him too much, and I don't even feel like hearing myself talk about him no more for a little while. You know what I mean? Unless somebody makes me mad. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad in this moment. I got some shit I got to deal with, but I'm not triggered. So I save those conversations for when I'm aggravated, when someone actually did something that deserves to be, you know, acknowledged.
Most definitely. So let's say reflecting back to as far as your early successes, what's the best out crew? How was that as far as with you? With the best out crew, what does it mean to you as part of your life?
I mean, that's the DNA of who I am. That was my crew. It was a bunch of young cats at the time from different blocks, all getting a good amount of money that just didn't want to do no dumb shit. Just wanted to have fun. Just wanted to get money. But we always knew we was the best. So that's why I'm not surprised. Because if you asked me back then what I was going to be doing now, I've been saying just this. You know, I don't think what people understand is the magic of doing all the things I'm doing independently. Most people raise money and have money to lose. I got to go in my pocket. So I'm always inspired. So I have a music vertical, all new music. I got sneakers, all CEO, all new sneakers, new brands, new books. Just Go Goes to Space, television network, new. And I don't know nobody else with a television network, you know. And 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 you know, we sell vitamins, sunglasses on my face. You know, who does that? I have a conglomerate independent, basically, and still get as much burn as people that are funded corporately. And I'm leading by example. So the fact that I'm doing it means it could be done, but you just gotta want that kind of smoke, and also means you can't mind being broke. But broke is not the same broke when I say broke as it is to everyone else.
So what's broke to you? It broke more so just like the time you sacrificing, or is it like actual physical
Nah,
currency?
broke is when you putting $2 or $3 million a year into your dreams, and you got $2.5 million a year worth of bills. That's broke.
So what keep you afloat with it though? Do you think it's faith? More so faith? What do you think is like just that magical, like the magical ingredient, the magical recipe?
Everybody has to lose before they win. It's just how much of a tolerance you have to lose before you win.
You working on the as far as you just dropped a song with Freeway with 365, and I know with
That's a whole album, but that's the first single.
the first single.
Yeah,
So as far as with it, that was the stage I heard a lot of, like I say, it had a lot of rock in there. It just had a lot as far as just free creative spirit. Do you feel like with that you want to inspire people, or you inspiring yourself with it? How do you feel?
I feel that people should challenge themselves and do new things, and use live instruments, and make something with purpose. You know, and also take the whole process. So you got to stay inspired. That's all.
Definitely. So what you working on with Dame Dead Studio? What project could you say we can see slated for the first and second quarter? You know it's pilot season in January, so I know a little bit about television. So like, what's something new that you wanted to develop?
It's American new. Dame Dash Studios was the last one before it. Completely different business model.